A boat travels upstream on the Mississippi River for 3 5/10 hours. The return trip only takes 2 5/10 hours because the boat travels 2 miles per hour faster downstream due to the current. How far does the boat travel upstream? Use the distance formula distance equals rate times time. Note that the distance traveled upstream equals the distance traveled downstream. Let x be the speed in miles per hour of the boat traveling upstream. Using the distance formula for the distance traveled upstream, the distance traveled upstream is given by x miles per hour times 3 5/10 hours. Using the distance formula for the distance traveled downstream, the distance traveled downstream is given by the quantity x plus 2 miles per hour times 2 5/10 hours. Notice that the units for time cancel on each side of the equation. The equation simplifies to 3 5/10 x equals 2 5/10 times the quantity x plus 2. Next, use the distributive property on the right side of the equation. Multiply 2 5/10 times x and 2 5/10 times 2 to get 3 5/10 x equals 2 5/10 times x plus 2 5/10 times 2, which simplifies to 3 5/10 x equals 2 5/10 x plus 5. Next, subtract 2 5/10 x from each side of the equation to collect the variable terms on one side of the equation. Because 3 5/10 x minus 2 5/10 x equals 1x, and 2 5/10 x minus 2 5/10 x equals 0, x equals 5. Note that x equals 5 represents the speed in miles per hour of the boat traveling upstream. In order to find the distance that the boat travels upstream, use the distance formula distance equals rate times time. Substitute 5 for the rate in miles per hour of the boat traveling upstream and 3 5/10 hours for the time to get distance equals 5 times 3 5/10, or distance equals 17 5/10. So the boat travels 17 5/10 miles upstream.